along the front straight at Manfield, so this will make the front straight a little bit faster for the 600 Superports and other classes, and the back straight a little bit slower, but ready for a start. Number 1, John Ross on pole position, the championship leader at the moment, 233 points, but looks to me like Jamie Carrick on the Greg Brody tiling 55 bike shoots into the lead there, not for too long. That was most of the way along the front straight, but John Ross into the turn 1 first, and Toby Summers on the R&R Power Sports sponsored R6 Yamaha there goes into second, and then Jaden Carrick comes through on the inside. Look at the flying bike of the last race winner, Adam Chambers there. Went up from 6 down, now into 5th place in front of him. I think it's
it is Alistair there, Spider. Yeah, well picked up indeed as we looked him going into the hairpin for the first time. So good work, Alistair. Not the best of starts, but this one is better. So look, from remembering at the same point in the last race, he was a lot further back, and already the man behind him is the man that won the last race. So that's how good the quality is. But it's John Ross that's got the break, and man, oh man, John was absolutely panting when I interviewed him at the end of that last race, Spider. He was really showing not just, I think, the fitness level of what was required out there, but also the excitement level of what's going on, because John Ross knows that he's had these titles before and has lost them, and he's learnt from Dennis Charlotte. He actually made reference to Dennis in his speech how much he has learnt, and he's out there to just hold on to this title. And look at that, already with a nice buffer of points, he's already in the lead. So well done to John Ross. So it's John Ross that goes through. Indeed, the Wongyou Toyota man there on the GJ Gardner Holmes, Greg Brody Tyler's Suzuki GSX 600 is Jaden Carrick, followed by Toby Summers, Adam Chambers, Al Hugenboozem, and missing what had happened there with the update from the Wolfpack Racing, and Jamie and the team really in behind Adam, and just how good it was. And thank you to Honda for giving him a nice hat as well, as he certainly gave them the glory in that awesome race in the first one up. As we check out as well, Jeremy Holmes, Reese Holmes, and there no relation with Cameron Hudson, Race Supplies, Daniel Medham, Dave Manuel, for example, to pick up in there. And think of James Hugenboozem back in 11th place. James for a while in front of brother Alistair during the early part of racing in that last one. So good start, Spider, for our Bridgestone Tyres supported Super Sport class.
Oh yeah, and electric racing too, and look at the variety of bikes out. It's Suzuki, followed by Yamaha, followed by Honda, then Suzuki, and Jeremy Holmes is getting on the pace. He made some errors in his suspension setup in the last race and just couldn't get the drive out of corners, but he has discovered that that was the wrong way to go, so now he's a man that could be on fire here in the race, currently sitting on 6 on the track. But it is Greg Brody Tile sponsored GJ Gardner Holmes bike Jaden Carrick. He's got there into the lead. As I say that, John Ross goes up on the inside. I think that Jaden Carrick outbraked himself a little bit and run wide. There's a bit of dust on the cement on the circuit there, so he pulled it back in, but still in a good solid second place. John Ross followed by number 55, GJ Gardner Holmes sponsored GSXR 600. The R&R Power Sports Yamaha R6 of Toby Summers, number 77, and Adam Chambers there. So, and somebody else up on the inside. That's Al Hugenboozem, mate. I think he just about gained 2 spots there. So Al Hugenboozem up into 4th place. As I say that, the Wolfpack Racing Machine reels him in, but also he's reeling in Toby Summers there on the Yamaha as well. So John Ross got probably 30-metre lead out the front over and above Jaden Carrick, then Summers and Adam Chambers and Hugenboozem. Wow.
Indeed, it's Adam that's just taken it back. So how many times? That's at least 3 times those two have changed for a starter. So Adam and Al. Here comes Al, looking for a good break moving time. Down on the inside, he's right there level with him. In fact, he's just going to put his nose in front. I think you're going to see him change that place and make it stick, and he does, and that forces Adam Chambers out wide on the corner. So great bit of riding. We're looking at the fight going on back in 4th place, folks. That's where the battle is at this stage, as you see, almost in the blind spot there. And now Alistair up on the inside of Toby Summers, looks to try and make a break on the Yamaha man, and has he got it? Yes, he has, and he can hold his line as well. Beautiful to watch. In fact, I thought Toby was probably thinking that time, I hope you're not going to get too close, as Toby finds it hard work, and he's back to 4th. And look out, Adam Chambers, I'm sure, will be on the inside. Is it almost? No, not almost there for him to make that change. So good work, John Ross. But how's this for a much better ride from Jaden Carrick? He's the one to look for, folks. Now, we know of Jaden's excellence, more of a street racing man, summertime man. We haven't seen him do a lot of rounds of New Zealand Championship road racing in this class, so fantastic to see him in this good kind of form, and he's not been consistent, and we do want to see that now. So Jaden Carrick putting in the most impressive ride there at the moment amongst our top championship road battlers. But the Repsol Suzuki, John Ross, number 1 on the bike and number 1 on the track, putting it all on out there at the moment. and a nice points buffer. He's not going to win the title here today. He's still going to need to race him tomorrow, so it's going to come down to a tight battle. So John Ross, Jaden Carrick looking out for the third place run from Alistair Hugenboozem, and indeed the change we predicted. Adam Chambers has gone to fourth. That has forced Toby Summers. Was in second 2.5 laps ago. He's now gone back to fifth place from the hard work there now of Jeremy Holmes. Liking the work of Jeremy. And Jeremy, by the way, has just put in the fastest lap. Jeremy Holmes, I like this riding and the good work that he's done. And there he is, the fastest. And to think that he's out there in sixth place. So look out for the Honda CBR 600R. That is impressive. So look out for it. And he's got the work to do. And look at that again from Toby. He's got that fourth place back. He's got the fourth place back. And we've got two others we want to count through there. Reese Holmes should not be counted out of the bike battle as well. That looks exceptional. But what about Cameron Hudson? Where's this name, Cameron Hudson? Spider, how good is that? So we've got, let's count them. Nice position. Go 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 of them, all the way back to Cameron. That is incredible. Now, there's just a young man. How much Manfield experience he's got as well. The number of race meetings here he's done before, you'd fit on one hand for a starter. So limited experience. And look at this for a ride. So, Spider, a lot of stars of today and the stars of the future fighting it out there. Great battle.
I take my hat off to Cameron Hudson on the 61 bike, because he's also had a crash this weekend, and that can certainly play with your head a bit. So Cameron Hudson will be on the back of that pack, and following Reese Holmes on the John Tuhoy sponsored bike, a man from Caddy. Few people have ever got out of Caddy. The idea of a safari up there is go down the local supermarket and see if you can spot a camel toe and leopard skin tights. But Reese Holmes was leading the 600 race here on the Suzuki Series, so he's a man with punch as well, and he indeed's got past on Toby Summers as well. So both Yamaha mounted. So Jaden Carrick out in the front, followed by Al Hugenboozem's up in the second spot. John Ross has slipped down to third. There's three of them on that pile there. There's Adam Chambers on 64, Al Hugenboozem and Jeremy Holmes there. Wow, Cameron Hudson, mate, what the ride of the weekend for him, and it's a 15-lap race here for the second race of the Supersport 600s today. Had one race yesterday, second race there. John Ross leading the points, 233, Al Hugenboozem 196, Toby Summers 188, down to 125 points for Jeremy Holmes, Adam Chambers on 122, followed by Al Hugenboozem. James Hugenboozem, Reese Holmes, Jaden Carrick, Cameron Hudson and Aaron Asana is sidelined this weekend with gearbox issues with his R6, but supporting his brother for his first ever Superbike win. They come onto the front straight here, 10 laps to go of a 15-lap race, and it's still the Whanganui man, number 55, led the racing at Timaru in one of the races there this year. Unfortunately, just lost a bit of concentration and had a crash, but Al Hugenboozem's trying up on the inside as they go into the Toyota corner. There's Adam Chambers through on third place over and above. John Ross comes back. He runs it a bit wide. In fact, he's almost lost 2 places. That's Reese Holmes. Reese Holmes is moving up through the pack as well into 5th place at the moment. He's fighting for 4th. And in behind that, Jeremy Holmes. And there's now Alistair Hugenboozem, the fastest man on the track by 0.4 of a second at a 108.248. So action aplenty in the 600 Supersport class.
Fantastic to see as well, and what a quality field we've got assembled for this Bridgestone-sponsored series. And what a race out there at the moment. And look at the advantage. This is just fantastic as we put the hammer down, as they say, and going for the glory. How's that from Al Hugenboozem, folks? What a star, what a champion. It was an honour to watch him at Taupo last weekend taking those victories. I loved it in the second race today. It had so much of a look of an Andrew Stroud to it. The tactics, the way he rode, the positions he rode, the way he was on the bike, just the whole thing was really winding the cock back. Of course, another young, tall guy. This is the next Andrew Stroud, ladies and gentlemen. Put your money on that one. Exceptional. Look at the way that he's worked in this race. 5, 4, 3, 2, and here he is in the number 1 position to lead for the first lap. And will he be the fastest as well? We'll find out. Yes, he was. He was the fastest. So he's taken that fastest lap through to the lead in a great advantage. Loving the battles going on around him as well. So Alistair Hugenboozem is your race leader. Second place still to Jaden Carrick. Has only lost the one. Now John Ross. Now there he's got. He's going back to 5th. Reese Holmes should have him on the inside. Look for Holmes. Look for Ross. No. Still John Ross back there in 4th place at this stage. So John Ross looking for what's going on there in the battle. And I'll tell you what, Adam Chambers, well, he had a chance to gain one. He's actually ended up by losing one. You see, he's lost one, and that was because in running to the inside, he then naturally went to the outside through the big S-bend here, and that's forced him to go back on, but he's just got that back again. He's just getting that place back again there at the moment, and putting on a magnificent battle alongside the run through there with the Jeremy Holmes. And 3rd place, looking to go a little wide on top there at the moment. And was that going to be a change, Spider?
Oh, no, I think that's Reese Holmes, mate. He's having another ride of his season. He got out and won a race at Timaru last year and got I think he got second in another race down there, but Rhys Holmes run wide at the Higgins corner, run wide up, kept his composure, and he's still holding a good solid third place there. But this has given a chance for the front two bikes to get a break, bit of a break there. There's still Al Hugenboezem out in the front there, had 3 out of his last 4 600 Supersport race. He's won, so what a man, what a young man of class from the Hugenboezem family with Father Bill and Mother Diane at the race meetings all the time, of course, supporting their 3 brothers, and of course young Matthew Hugenboezem, his youngest brother, is leading the 125 class. So, mate, look at John Tuhoy Racing sponsored bike number 41 out there in 3rd place, Rhys Holmes. What a ride he's having.
But as all this goes on, look for Jaden Carrick. That second place of it has been so solid and so consistent. I love seeing this at the moment. The other riders have got a lot more racetrack time experience. Jaden is effectively from the great Wanganui group, of course, a motarder like Wanganui, the super motard capital of New Zealand, and he's decided to get a real bike, and I'll tell you what, it's starting to show with some great results. Not unlike the story, of course, of Toby Summers from Summers Plumbers, who's on fire out there with his own great riding. But Jaden Carrick, this is outstanding on the Greg Brody tiling, GJ Gardner Homes, Wanganui Toyota supported Suzuki GSXR 600, so a great race at the moment. But it is the Avon City Suzuki that's in the lead as we look out to Suzuki, Yamaha, to the Suzuki still, yes, just there from the Honda. So look out for Adam Chambers. There he was, a dynamic one. He took it last time. He said he had some moments. We watched him back about 3 laps ago, almost have a moment into the S's, but he's been able to hold on to it. And in fact, it was John Ross that was under braking that just had to tighten it up to keep out of that cement on the outside where the sidecars did the roll earlier today. So, look at the 3 of them right into that corner. How good is that? And slammed the door. John Ross on Adam, and all of a sudden, Adam, in fact, he was very lucky there still to hold on to that placing because there's some good work. But undoubtedly for me, the ride of the race here is Cameron Hudson, ladies and gentlemen, an unsung hero in our sport, just a newbie in this kind of class, and here's a young guy making it happen. Has he ever been to Manfield in this class before? I don't think he's raced this class at Manfield before. Of course, it's been 3 years since we've been here, so that might be an obvious statement, but how good is that? Because he's kept up with some class riders in that group. The top 2 have broken clear. That whole group of our riders that we did have there before, 8 of them in all, has just split apart, probably the furthest it's been. But it's the Alistair Hugenboezem, Jaden Carrick show here at the moment. Now, what's this going to do for the John Ross point situation at the moment? Because 37 is going to be effectively cut down by probably about 9 and about as much as 13 points, Spider. So that's going to mean there's more than 20. So we're going to actually come down to the last race tomorrow, not even the second to last, or our first one on the program tomorrow. So it's going to get tight if Alistair Hugenboezem can do this, and in particular, of course, hanging on to that lead. But there it is, back in Jaden Carrick's favour. So Jaden on the braking. Thought as they came towards us, thought it had changed again. So Spider, anything to happen in this group. But those 2 in the big battle in the next 6, still anybody for 3rd place. Oh, definitely. John Ross has gone through and regained 3rd place over and above the Rhys Holmes Yamaha R6. And I'll tell you what, I've had a look at the timing chart here, and all these riders in this lead pack, the top 8 of them, they're all in the 108. So top ride there from Cameron Hudson, getting down into the 108. It's a lap record here at Manfield set in 2011 at a 107.8. So we're not too far off that, but that's not under threat today. A little bit of a breeze coming along the front straight, but certainly it is Jaden Carrick opening up the lead down that back straight. There was 0.2 of a second between first and second, or 0.3 of a second as they come across the stripe last time round. And John Ross has broken away from the pack. Adam Chambers is now in 4th place with Rhys Holmes, followed by Jeremy Holmes, and then Toby Summers. Toby won't be very happy with this finish in number 77 in 7th place, but at the end of the day, he's got to finish the race and keep on with it. He's just having problems with just getting his head around it all weekend. So it is definitely number 55, the GJ Gardner's home sponsor machine. The fastest man on the track is John Ross, and he's in the 108.043 bracket. So 8 people in the 108s, Neil. Well, in fact, and as we talk about these points overall for 55 and Jaden Carrick, you go back to Ruapuna back in January, 24 points. Go to Timaru and 30 points. Wasn't with us last weekend, picked up a 13-pointer yesterday. So already, effectively, he's got a lot of points out of Manfield. So he's making every post a winning post. And he has already slipped in front of Cameron Hudson overall. So he's slipped into 8th place and only having done 2 of the previous rounds. So good work for Jaden out there. And man, oh man, wouldn't it be an opportunity to see another new winner in our 600 national racing class, Spider. We've been talking about the fact that in super bikes, of course, we've had 6 different winners over the 4 rounds, and 3 of those have been first time ever to have won a superbike race in New Zealand. Fast and exciting, yes indeed. The Jaden Carrick show, folks. Wanganui in front of Christchurch at the moment. But look at that for Alistair Hugenboezem. I think it's a better line, and it's breaking, and he's been fighting on that. No, he won't do it. Still Jaden to hold on to it. So the Wanganui man in pursuit of the number 1 placing. And, well, Spider, put your head on the block. Can he hold it from here?
I don't know. Al Hookenboosum's come on strong in the last few races, quite strong, but definitely Jaden Carrick. Looking at the point sheet here, gained 1 point for qualifying on pole at Timaru, a very, very technical track on his first visit ever. So a man that's got the ability, hasn't had as much racing this season as the others because he didn't do last weekend at Taupo, but certainly Al Hookenboosum closes up on him down that Higgins, coming into Higgins, and it is a breaking duel there, but it is still Jaden Carrick there. Al Hookenboosum in 3rd place, John Ross, the fastest man on the track. Adam Chambers has broken free of that pack, and after winning the last race, he's down to 4th. Still no shame in that, and then we go down to Jeremy Holmes from Invercargill on the South Honda bike in 5th place, and Reese Holmes and Toby Summers is starting to close up on Reese Holmes because he'll be wanting valuable points. Reese sort of not really featuring highly in the points, but certainly Toby Summers in 3rd spot at the moment wants to get out there and get as many points. He wants to win. He's not going to win at the moment, but it is anybody game. We're going to be coming across some lappers. Dylan Jeffries in last place on bike number 16, Andrew Evans. They'll come up. It's just 2 laps to go here at Manfield Park for the 2nd race of the day, and oh mate, electric racing, 10 lap races for most of the class with the exception of Superbikes and 600, so we will probably be coming across these lappers, but let's concentrate on the front. I'll tell you who's closing up there is John Ross has put in some quicker lap times, 0.4 of a second quicker than both these guys out in the front, and he may be a threat as well, and it's all going to come to play in a lap or two when the lappers come up.
I just think what he really needs to do is he's pulled clear of the battle of Adam Chambers, so he doesn't have to worry about the person coming from behind, and that was his biggest challenge. So I don't think he'll necessarily be a threat on trying to overtake, because 3rd place is certainly good enough to be holding on to his lead. Remembering the man that's the closest threat to him on points is only 1 place in front of him. That's only worth 4 points at the position. You'd have 2nd place getting 20 and 3rd getting 16 points. So not a real threat when you've got a 33-point lead and only 2 races left to go tomorrow. So super head, super cool, super guy, John Ross, ladies and gentlemen. For me, one of the most all-round best versatile riders we've seen in New Zealand. Why? Because he's been top 10 in New Zealand motocross, top 10 in New Zealand supercross. He, of course, is top 10 in speedway, following in the footsteps of his legendary dad, Larry. And, of course, here he is proving to be not just in the top 10 in New Zealand road racing, but he has got the number 1 on his bike and out to hold it again. Superb race as we go to the last lap. Those lappers are paying a difference indeed, as you said, and probably right at a time when you wouldn't want it to be that case, Spider, but it is going to be the Jaden Carrick show. Jaden Carrick from Brodie, my apologies, he's on the Greg Brodie tiling machine, ahead of Alistair Hookenboosum. When I asked you the question, Spider, if you'd asked me the same question, I would have said Al Hookenboosum with experience would have taken him, but I could be wrong yet. You take it through.
Oh, definitely, but I'll tell you what, looking out further down the pack, we've got the Yamaha battle between Toby Summers and Reese Holmes. They passed the start-finish line with just 1/1000th of a second in Toby Summers' favour, 1/1000th of a second. So that little dice isn't over. We go down the back straight. Jaden Carrick, number 55. This is the New Zealand Championship winning bike from 2 seasons ago. Was the man that Dennis Charlotte took it to the championship win. He comes in there. He looks over his shoulder a little bit. Come along to the start-finish line. A checkered flag for Jaden Carrick, followed by Al Hookenboosum, John Ross. Then we go to 64, and then it is Jeremy Holmes, and it is indeed James Hookenboosum gets through there over and above Reese Holmes, Toby Summers, and Cameron Hudson. What an electric race! All in the 8s, those top 8 people. So, and then we go down to 3 in the 9s, 3 in the 10s, and 11.